Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Warriors will play without several starters against the Boston Celtics. The Warriors are in serious difficulties this season, due to having many players injured, and with each game the number of injuries increases and is interfering with the results. Warriors are without stars for today's game due to injuries. The Celtics will catch a bit of a break to start off their 4-game road trip as the Golden State Warriors will be very undermanned for Monday's matchup at the Chase Center. Stephen Curry is one of 5 players listed on the team's injury report against Boston. He was designated as questionable after suffering a sprained ankle in Saturday's win over the Wizards. The All-Star guard did tell reporters he expected to play Monday after suffering the injury. Golden State could still be without 4 rotation players even if Curry can go, including a pair of starters. Draymond Green, calf sprain, Jonathan Kuminga, ankle sprain, Kyle Anderson, glut bursitis, and Brandon Podziemski, abdominal injury, have all been ruled out for the Celtics game on Monday. Green suffered a calf injury in Saturday's win over the Wizards as well and could miss a longer stretch of time. Golden State has won 2 games in a row but has had a very underwhelming season in the wake of a hot 7-1 start that included a win over the Celtics at TD Garden. Golden State has gone just 14-19 since that impressive victory despite the trade addition of former Celtics guard Dennis Schroeder. The Celtics will come into town looking to avenge that loss from November and will be a lot healthier this time around. Kristaps Porzingis, injury management, and Al Horford, toe sprain, were both removed from Monday's injury report after they both missed Saturday's loss to the Hawks. Porzingis and Jaylen Brown did not play in Boston's 118-112 loss to the Warriors on November 6. Boston is currently in the midst of a 5-games-in-7 nights stretch but have lost 3 of their last 5 games overall, including an ugly overtime loss to the Hawks on Saturday night. Jrue Holiday is eager to try to bounce back as the team begins the Western Conference road swing against the Warriors. I think obviously after a loss, especially one like this, I think we lock in, Holiday said Saturday. But we also know that this isn't going to be an easy road trip, so I feel like every game we come in and we do our best to try to lock into the teams, the schemes, to winning the game. Sometimes it doesn't go our way, but I think the intent for us has always been great and I feel like that's what we'll do on this road trip, take it as seriously as possible. Klay's presumed replacement with starters has Warriors jittery. Not seeing Klay Thompson in a Warriors uniform continues to be uncanny for many of us. A homegrown talent, Captain Klay began his NBA journey in the Bay Area. Playing 11 seasons for the franchise, the veteran guard accounted for several unforgettable moments. Sadly robbed of a storybook ending, the Thompson Warriors chapter concluded on July 6, 2024. According to reports, failed contract negotiations and a declining role alluded to this breakup. A sign-and trade sent Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks. Finding themselves in a challenging situation, head coach Steve Kerr and staff laid their bets on Brandon Podziemski. The 19th pick in the 2023 draft showed a lot of promise in his rookie season. Averaging 9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists, the Santa Clara product shot close to 39% from the three-point line. However, entering his sophomore year, Podziemski seems to have regressed, with injuries prodding him as well. Klay Thompson's potential backup has the Warriors jittery. Uncertainty over the Brandon Podziemski experiment. Making the 2023-24 All-Rookie First Team, the Warriors had big plans for Podziemski. The management had allegedly planned to insert the 21-year-old in the starting lineup, which implied Thompson coming off the bench. Nonetheless, things became easier with the latter heading to Dallas. Entrusted with this big responsibility, Podziemski has started 8 games this season but failed to deliver. From the looks of it, the 6'4" guard wasn't ready for showtime. Adding to Kerr's woes is his plummeting three-point shooting. He is shooting just 29.5% from beyond the arc this season. Nevertheless, Dennis Schroeder's arrival in December helped Podziemski regain lost momentum. That wasn't for long though, as the Warriors guard sustained an abdominal injury. Out for over 3 weeks now, Coach Kerr is positive about Podziemski returning soon. The Klay Thompson gap. The 5-time All-Star's void continues to be a challenge for the Dubs. Engaging in several trade talks during the offseason, the front office kept Podziemski off the table. Though viewed as a temporary fix, the common consensus was grooming the Wisconsin native under Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. As for how things stand today, Golden State's Podziemski gamble might have possibly been an error of judgment. No doubt, Thompson wasn't the same after his catastrophic injuries, but he could still contribute in different ways. Thompson also has that championship DNA. While it might be early to form any analysis of Podziemski, viewing him as a replacement for Thompson is tough to digest thus far. Many of us have forgotten the Thompson that dropped 60 points on 11 dribbles and had 14 threes in a single game. He was a two-way guard who could play lockdown defense as well. Returning from back-to-back season-ending injuries, Thompson helped the Dubs in their quest for a 4th title in 8 years. A future first-ballot Hall of Famer, Thompson deserves to see his number 11 jersey hang in the rafters of Chase Center someday. There is a growing notion that the big three of Curry, Green, and Thompson deserve to have their statues outside the new arena in San Francisco, given their contributions. Warriors may wait until summer to pursue major trade. The Warriors may be active on the trade market before the deadline, but they're not expected to pursue a major deal until the offseason, writes Ohm Youngmisuk of ESPN. 2 Western Conference executives who talked to Youngmisuk believe Golden State will save its most valuable trade pieces for the summer in hopes of making significant move. For now, a more likely target is Bulls center Nikola Vucevic, who would provide a second reliable scorer to team with Stephen Curry. Vucevic is making $20 million, and the Warriors hope they might be able to land him in exchange for expiring deals. Both rival executives expect the team to continue exploring its options until closer to February 6, rather than making a deal right away. Youngmisuk points out that Golden State's top trade pieces are Andrew Wiggins' $26 million contract, along with young players Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski. More likely to be moved now are the expiring contracts of Gary Payton II, $9.13 million, and Kevin Looney, $8 million, along with 3 first-round picks and 2 second-rounders. Youngmisuk reveals that CEO Joe Lacob met with General Manager Mike Dunleavy to discuss the team's options after a January 7 loss to Miami. One rival executive described the team as frustrated as it has fallen down the standings after a 12-3 start. The executives also told Youngmisuk that if the Warriors aren't in a better position by the trade deadline, they might consider some cost-cutting deals to reduce the size of their tax bill. Youngmisuk adds that Golden State typically isn't active around the deadline, with only 2 significant trades during the Curry era. Curry, who has been playing through thumb and knee pain this season, said he can accept a quiet deadline as long as he knows the front office is making an effort to improve the roster.